Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. I, of course, am founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Originator Success is all about helping you be found, be chosen, and be remembered, building your online resume, providing you with a website that actually gets you found on Google search and AI search, converts to conversations, and also great content to keep you in touch with agents, past clients, and all your warm prospects, all that stuff. So, Grab and Go Social is all about building your online social presence and getting loans from social media. And Rate Sensei is all the rate stuff, including our rate text alerts, which yesterday I definitely threw off some people when I sent out a broadcast about the billing information because everyone thought it went to just them, and that was a broadcast. So, sorry about that. Today we're doing something new. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, coming to you on Facebook and on YouTube, and a little bit different on each of those. So let me show you my screen for a minute, and we'll have a little bit of fun here. So I'm going to move this over here, and I'll show you the screen. So if you look at the screen here, and I know this is kind of confusing, it's a little hard to see. Let me pull a Presentify that might be able to help me a little bit. So if you look at the screen right now, this one right here, this is portrait mode. And then on the purple side, I'll do this one in purple. The purple is landscape mode. And what they have a new feature with Restream is that I put Facebook on portrait mode because I think a lot of people watch Facebook on their phones. So I want to know if this helps you to kind of see the charts and understand the information better. And then I kept YouTube on the landscape mode. And what that's going to kind of look like is, so here we are on landscape mode in YouTube, right? As I'm showing you kind of this thing. And then on Facebook, it's going to be on portrait mode, which is up and down. And I don't know, again, I'm looking at it on a computer, but on a phone, I think this would actually come out a little better. So let's see. I want you guys to kind of let me know what you think and how that actually works out today. That would be really helpful. So anyway, if you want a reminder that I'm going live so that you don't miss a moment of the show, make sure you sign up for our text reminder. I send that out each day as I'm going live. You get a text with the links so you could jump on Facebook or YouTube, whichever one you like better. You can use hmmr.io/reminder, or you can use this cool QR code over here to check those out. Also, don't forget you can sign up for our written lock advice at www.ratelockadvice.com. And you can sign up for our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. So anyway, what else we got going on today? Let's go ahead and say hi to the live folks. Good morning, y'all. Adam Check, I haven't heard from you in a while. Let's talk after my live, dude. Ron Siegel said today is National Cherry Cheesecake Day. Who's a cherry cheesecake fan? Let me know in the comments. Let me get rid of this. Cherry cheesecake. I would take cherry cheesecake. Cherry cheesecake, raspberry cheesecake, any kind of cheesecake. I would take it. One of the good things about this surgery, I lost my appetite for a while, so I dropped about 10 pounds, and I need to drop about 20 more. So that's pretty good. Tiffany says the portrait on phone is worse than before. Can't see anything. Ron Siegel says can't see what you're pointing to in the new layout. All right, well, that's good to know because maybe I will go back to the regular format tomorrow. So Tammy said can't see anything. It's tiny. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I appreciate you all letting me know on that. So again, we got to try the new features, right? Test them out. But I think that landscape will probably be the winner. We'll go back to that. So anyway, all right, my friends, let's go ahead and let's jump in and get started. Let me show you what we got going on this morning. All right. Here you go. So if you take a look, and this will give you kind of the better idea. So if you take a look at the charts this morning, mortgage-backed securities currently up 6 basis points to start the day, which is good. However, yesterday we lost ground. So quick recap, what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we also started the day. We were up a little bit as pricing was coming out. However, by the end of the day, and right here around 4 p.m. Eastern time, you can see it right about there, this line, right? So 4 p.m. Eastern time, we kind of lost it. We ended the day. I'll switch to red since that's more appropriate. We were down about 2 basis points on the day. And when pricing came out, we'd been up, 6 or 8 basis points, kind of like we are today. So this morning we are up about 6 basis points. Rate sheets today are going to be flat, probably about the same as yesterday, maybe a little bit worse. When you look at where pricing came out yesterday, it's right about here, generally above 99.25. We're a little bit below that, a couple of basis points below that. Even though we are up on the morning, we're actually down compared to yesterday, and we're down on the day. The 10-year Treasury, 4.29 at the moment. It was 4.30 a minute ago. You'll notice it's also running kind of flat here. And mortgage-backed securities, technicals are starting to play more of a role again. If we look at this purple line, that's the 200-day moving average. And you can see that it has provided some technical support the last couple of days. So we've seen it hold up here. We've seen it hold up here. We've seen it hold up this morning. So hopefully it'll give us a little bit more. We are seeing a little bit more of that. Whereas, as we went through the whole situation with Iran, technicals really took a backseat, but now they're starting to come back out again. And you could see that after we had, again, obviously a very, very big drop down. This was when the Iran conflict started. Bonds were doing great. We had seen some of our best rates. We were at like that 5.9-ish area there, right? And then we saw our worst levels right here at the end of March. And since then, we've been moving higher, which is fantastic, right? So we've been improving since the end of March. And you can really see that even in rate sheets when we take a look here. We were, look at the 6.62. I'm going to say that was our worst day. No, I want purple. There you go. 6.62. That was our worst day. Oh, no, 6.64. Duh, right next to it. 6.64 was our worst day on the 27th. But since then, we've seen rates come down. And if you want to look at what they say over at OBBBBBI here at Optimal Blue, basically, it looks like a lot of loans are locking in around 6.25. So this could be with points. You don't know what the rebate pricing is, but remember this was Friday when we had our best pricing when the announcement about the Strait of Hormuz opening came, and we saw 6.187. Right here was 6.187. But since then we're kind of back where we were, right around 6.25, and things have really leveled off. Again, we peaked right here at the end of March. Those were our worst rates. We had seen a very steady increase in rates from that February to the end of March area. But since then, we've seen just a, nice improvement, and now we're kind of running flat. And it's very, very unlikely that we're going to see rates that are going to improve much from here until the Strait of Hormuz is actually opened. So reprice risk today is moderate. Speaking of that Strait of Hormuz, a couple of articles. This one says that Trump orders the Navy to shoot and kill any boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know how anybody can get upset about that, because yes, if they are still hold on a minute. I'm sorry. I got too many screens open here. If they are still holy smokes, I have another one. Let me get rid of this one. All right. Sorry. If they're still laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, there's too many things on one. There we go. Come on, close. There it is. Then that's a bad thing. So let me refresh this and see if anything's changed. They wrote a little bit more of an article to it now. So, it's the Strait of Hormuz does not look open. You've got, and the other article about the Strait of Hormuz, there it is. The U.S. intercepts Iranian oil supertankers as Hormuz tensions climb. However, this is not hurting us. Bonds are still up 6 basis points on the day, 8 basis points even as we sit here chatting about it. So it's not hurting us to see this, but it's kind of where we're at. Other stuff this morning, jobless claims. Let's find that. Jobless claims were up to 214,000. That's still low, y'all. It was slightly higher than the week before. It was a little higher than the 210,000 that was estimated, but that's still not a lot of layoffs. So there may be weakness in the labor market as far as finding new jobs or changing jobs, but employers do not look like they are laying a lot of people off. And that's important to recognize. So, it's because the Fed isn't likely to start cutting rates if we have a solid labor market. As far as the Fed goes, Warsh still holding his own. Warsh triggers debate over measures of U.S. inflation. Siegel, I bet you probably have something to say on this one. I actually like what he's saying here. I think a lot of what we do with the Fed has been outdated, and that they could use better tools. This is something that I think is makes a lot of sense. He was talking about how they would like to use the mean average, which is where you take off the highest highs and the lowest lows, because the mean, like median and mean, right? So he wants to use the trimmed mean gauge. Basically, that would in this article, here it is. The Dallas Fed trim mean gauges take out the biggest increases and the largest declines in prices. The Dallas Fed produces one of those. Its latest year-on-year reading was 2.33 compared to the 3% increase that the core PCE that the Fed policymakers use. So it's an argument that he's changing that he wants to change the target, move the target so that it's that inflation does not show to be as much of a problem, which would open the door for the Fed to go ahead and lower rates. Hypothetically, switching the Fed's preferred measure of inflation would bring inflation 70 basis points closer to the Fed's goal of 2%. And what was also interesting is that they were saying about maybe using a range rather than just a specific number. Would be another thing. And I think Australia does that. So in our minds, if Warsh is really willing to tinker with inflation, guideposts, more material, and dare we say useful change on the inflation front would be if Warsh were to push for targeting an inflation range rather than a point estimate. Wells Fargo economists, including Tom Porcelli, wrote. So anyway, so that's what we got going on there. Some of that stuff. We talked about jobless claims this morning. Jobless claims, by the way, had no effect at all on mortgage-backed securities. When you look at bond pricing this morning, it was at 830, and there was no move. It was really nothing here. So nothing that you have to worry about. As far as the rate outlook, I mean, anything closing in the next 15 days, we're cautiously floating. We want to see right now rates continue to tread water, right? We're holding steady, treading water. 10 years are around 4.30. If we do get some positive news from the Strait of Hormuz, if something does happen and traffic does open and that would help bring oil prices back down, we would see some improvement. And that's kind of what we're holding out for. However, we could see rates creep a little higher in the meantime. So don't be afraid to lock up anything if it's there. So keep that in mind. As far as 15 to 30 days out, let's go ahead and cautiously float. Once again, there's really not much of a threat that rates are going to move higher from here. I showed it to you on Mortgage News Daily on there. Here we'll even look at their chart here, make it a little bit easier to see as a graph style. But, we've seen coming from this high up here, right at the end of March, we've come down quite a bit and we're just kind of leveling off. So we're not in this zone here where had to be much more conscientious of locking because things were getting worse consistently, right? It was up, 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 up. We don't have that happening this time. So we don't have to worry so much about that. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and hit on your comments and then I'll wrap it up for the day. Let me go ahead and close the chart here. Let's hit your chat. So, and again, let me know what you guys think of the landscape on Facebook versus the portrait on Facebook versus landscape. Maybe the layout is better. It's really small and no headshot. Yeah, see, Brandy said the charts are easier to read on Facebook than before. Good morning, Zane. It removed the headshot screen. We need Hammer to do the picture in picture instead of the side by side. I could do that. I can mess with that. I'll mess with that tomorrow. Now I'm just messing with everything. What does this do? There you go. Okay. On Facebook, really small. Looks like it's for the phone. Yeah, it is for the phone. So Remember the drug boats, Renegade, RGIC boats done by Monday. The only thing you dislike about doing jiu-jitsu every morning is missing this call. Oh, what's up, Groves? Good to see you, man. Thanks, sir. Warsh makes a lot of sense. Use more real-time data. The data models based on 1985 processes. Absolutely. There's so many. I agree with you, Siegel. Goal is not necessarily to bring down inflation. It's work with current data. If we used current data, we would have increased rates earlier in 2021 to moderate inflation sooner. And that I absolutely agree on too. If Truflation can calculate real-time numbers, why can't the government? The Fed has more budget. This no worky. Love Landscape on Facebook. All right, you guys, when you say landscape is side to side. Portrait is up and down. So, but I can, all right, can't read them. So, all right, tomorrow I'll go back to full landscape. No problem. We can do that. So we were just messing around with it today. All right. So anyway, it's going to be a calm, quiet day. Hope you guys have, that's it. When we kind of hit on everything, I think I nailed it. I think I gave you all the info that was going on out there. And that's it. All right, my friends. Well, again, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow on Lovely Friday. Lovely Friday. So I'll catch y'all later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.